So, Dinner at 8 from 1933, The Eagle Shooting Heroes from 1993, and Junebug from 2005 were the 16th, 17th, and 18th films that I watched for my 30 Days, 30 Films movie challenge that I did in June. Let's get right into it, shall we? Starting with Dinner at 8, which is part of this. It's not going to be on the Criterion Channel anymore by the time that this goes up, but it was part of the George Cukor collection. I wasn't a fan of this anyway, so I wouldn't recommend it. So like maybe it's okay that you missed it if you missed it. Dinner at 8 is about this. I have no idea what anybody's names are. So there's like the main couple, I'll say, and they're having a dinner party, and it's kind of just like all the people that the couple invites, mostly the wife. All the people that the wife invites, and just how they're all sort of interconnected, and drama that's happening with each character. And then the end of the movie is the beginning of the dinner party. I thought it would be like actually taking place at the dinner party and like hijinks kind of happen. Like I thought it would be a lot more of a comedy than it was a drama. But it turned out to be like majorly a drama. So it's kind of my fault in a way, just like the way that I interpreted synopses that I read about this made it seem like it would be funny, and it wasn't. It was actually pretty sad. Like, spoiler alert, one of the characters commits suicide. Like, that was not where I was going for when I decided to watch this film. It had just like the pacing was terrible. It just, I don't know, this needed work. It's based on a play, so I don't know, I'm not familiar with any sort of productions about the play, or with the play, but it needed work with pacing and certain shots. So specifically, there's like one scene between, maybe I wrote down there, Paula and Larry. Wow. The scene between Paula and Larry is going on for too long. Literally, the scene felt like it was a good fourth of the film. Like, the movie was an hour and 50 minutes, and it seemed like it was going on for like a half hour, which just then completely took me out of everything else that had already happened. And I thought maybe because there were other characters that we were going to be introduced to, it would really just go sort of like section by section with like the different people that were invited to the dinner party, and then we wouldn't come back to them until the dinner party started. But it didn't do that. We went back and forth between some characters, and then there was just this long scene between Paula and Larry, and it messed up the flow of the film, in my opinion. And not only because it was so much longer than all the other scenes between characters, but it was so serious, and then like the scenes with Larry are really serious. And then there are a few other scenes that are comedic, and I'm just like, this isn't even balanced. It just doesn't work. It clashes too much. I don't have that much to say on this. I'm looking at my notes here. This is one of the films that has Billy Burke in it, that like she has a sort of bigger role in it. She's the woman who's like inviting all these people to this dinner party, and she's like mostly known for playing Glinda the Good Witch in The Wizard of Oz, and I just haven't seen her in that much. I love the way she speaks. I don't know, just random. That's just a random opinion of mine. Okay, Jean Harlow's in this film, and there's this one scene where it seemed like she was doing like Eggyo, and you probably don't know what Eggyo is, but like I'm into K-pop, and there's this thing that like K-pop idols do, and that's like in Korean culture. It's called Eggyo. Spelled romanization of it is Aegyo. I'm bad at spelling out loud. I don't know why. I just didn't look at the word here. But like Eggyo is when like grown-ass adults act really cute and like a child, and I don't like it. It's very cringy, like as a Westerner, but like I understand the appeal of it from like in Korean culture and things like that. It's just really weird. And there's the scene, well, it's just different, but there was a scene with Jean Harlow, and I swear she does Eggyo, and she like acts like a little girl. Like I'm talking about like a 5-year-old here, and like in context of this film, it was sort of like, it was just weird because she's supposed to be this like flirtatious sexual character, and then she did Eggyo, and I'm like, I don't want people associating Eggyo with like sex. No, no. Anyway. Anyway. That was weird. Oh my god. I wrote, oh my god, she's so cute though. Not the Eggyo. But when she got out of bed, oh yeah, she like strutted all cutely. I haven't seen that many films with Jean Harlow, so this might actually be my first, and I'm interested in watching more that she was in. I was into some of the drama, I will say. Like, I wrote, oh shoot, the daughter is with the actor! Because it's sort of like a plot twist, spoiler alert. And she's like engaged to somebody else, and I was like, Paula, what are you doing? Paula was kind of annoying though, because she needed to chill a bit. She wouldn't let other people explain things and like talk, and it's like, well, if you would just let them speak, you would know what was going on. And then the doctor, the main character, like the character who's married to Billy Burke's character of like the main couple inviting people over to the dinner party, he was like lying and like not telling the truth, and I just have a problem with that. And why weren't you just telling the truth the whole time? Okay, that's it. Okay, so The Eagle Shooting Heroes from 1993. We're moving on to the second film here now. This is a Chinese film. And I liked this, but I think I would have loved it if I was like a kid. Like, I could just see it. I mean, it gives me sort of like Power Rangers vibes and like Godzilla vibes in a way, even though I haven't seen the Godzilla movies since I was like 7. By the way, the Spine Number 1000 has been announced now, and it's a Godzilla box set. I'm not that interested in it, but my younger brother is. He has like all the Godzilla films. Probably not all of them. Probably not all of them, but like I've seen a lot of Godzilla films because of him. Because we watched like everything together growing up pretty much. Unless something was too girly for him and he didn't watch it, which wasn't that often actually. He watched Barbie movies with me. Anyway, I just think this is something that I really would have liked when I was a kid. So, oh boy, the plot line of this is convoluted, but not in like a bad way. It just has a lot of characters that each one has like their own subplot going on and they're interconnected. There's so much happening in this film. So, okay, how do I describe this? Hold on. Okay, so I actually wrote some of the subplots down, except I don't know people's names, which is going to make it confusing for those watching this. I apologize in advance. But there's like this princess who's looking like the king. Already struggling. There's a king who's being like overthrown, and this is like sort of fantastical. Like they all have like weird kung fu ninja powers in a way. I'm so sorry if those terms are like incorrect though. I don't know. They have like kung fu powers. And so there's this king who like gets overtaken by people he thought were his friends or something, and then they're after something that the princess has, and the princess is on this journey to find this book to save her father. And so, yeah, the princess is on this journey to find this book to save her father, and then there's like the couple that are after the princess who are trying to stop her and get whatever it is that there's like a scroll or something that she has. And then there's this other prince who's betrothed to the princess, and he wants to become immortal, so he has to find his true love, and his true love has to say, I love you, to him 3 times, and then he'll be immortal. That's it. His true love is like a specific person, though. Not like the princess because he's betrothed to her. It's just like a random person. And then there's this other guy who actually is really good at kung fu, even though he doesn't like have any proper training or anything. And I don't know what he's doing actually. Oh, he's trying to find his cousin because apparently his father told him that like if he was at a certain crossroad at a certain time on this day, then he would encounter his cousin who he was intended to marry. Yeah, so he wants to meet his cousin he wants to be with his cousin so that they can be together. And then there's his cousin, who's like part of this other couple who are I think they're supposed to be helping the princess find the book. But then the guy is the one who ends up going with the princess, and then he sort of like the girl, the cousin girl, the cousin girl thinks that the princess is going to try to steal him away from her, so she like goes even though she wasn't supposed to. And then there are these other guys who are like students of this kung fu master that ended up dying, and then one of those students was like in love with him and is out for revenge on who he thinks killed this kung fu master, and he thinks it was the princess. But that's the only thing that was confusing, because it was a girl. It was clearly a girl playing a man, and they were like very specific on like, this is a man, not a woman, even if it looks like it's being played by a woman. And I just don't know, I don't quite understand why that decision was made. But that character was actually like in love with the kung fu master, and they had like a relationship. So like they're gay, and like maybe that's why it had to be played by like a woman. I'm not sure, because like a gay relationship couldn't actually happen between like two men actors. But then it's weird because it's like contradictory in my opinion, because the prince who's like looking for his true love so that he can become immortal, his true love ends up being the guy the guy with the princess who's like part of the couple. This is when names come in handy, right? I should have just given all the characters names so that I could just use them as references. But like the cousin, the female cousin who was like a part of this like couple, but like she couldn't go, and the guy did go with the princess. He ends up being the true love of the prince who wants to be immortal. So then they have to have the scenario where the prince who wants to be immortal dresses up as a girl so that he tricks the guy into saying I love you 3 times so that he can become immortal. But like, it's okay for the guy to say I love you and like have this weird thing happening with the prince, even though they're both males. Like, that probably didn't make any sense. You're probably so confused. I'm so sorry. It's just a lot going on. But one of the reasons why I think it would have been like a favorite, like if I had seen it when I was younger, I think I really would have liked it because of the colors. First of all, the costumes and the sets are amazing. Is this the first Chinese film I've ever seen? No. Huh. This is Chinese, right? Now I'm second guessing myself. I'm quite sure it's Chinese. I'm good at detecting languages ever since getting into K-pop. Okay. But I think this is the first Chinese film I've ever seen. Okay, moving on. There's like a lot of kung fu. I mean, I compared it to Power Rangers because the way that they do like that kung fu or like martial arts stuff, and like they're just like flying in the air and they're doing all this crazy stuff, and I don't know, it's a little over the top, which like as an adult I'm like, oh, I can see that they're like trying to be comedic and they're trying to do certain things. It's just I'm too aware that they're like acting, I think. Also, it was dubbed, like I could tell. I don't know, I wrote, why is it so obviously dubbed? And I'm like trying to think of it back. This should still be on the Criterion Collection. I don't think it had an expiration date, but again, I'll put it in the description if I'm wrong about that. This is actually produced by Wong Kar-wai. And I was just I just saw like the photo that they have on the Criterion Channel, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this. And it seemed interesting enough, and it was really enjoyable. As I keep saying. But I don't know, it's just like the way that they were doing like the kung fu action scenes. I was like, I would have loved this. And then there's like these weird animals. There's like an eagle and a gorilla. There's just like people in random animal suits, but like they're supposed to be actual animals. And I'm like, why are you there? What's happening? But I mean, it's obviously supposed to be some sort of other other, sort of fantasy world. Yeah, and there were some like funny one-liners in there. Some of it was funny, but then some of it was like too much, like you're trying too hard kind of thing. But yeah, I don't. Let's see my notes here, and see what else I can say. Oh, the main actress in the Mood for Love is actually in this film, and even though I haven't seen that film, I recognized her just from seeing posters from that movie. I was like, the sorceress character looks really familiar, and so also there's a sorceress. I didn't even tell you about the sorceress, but yeah, she plays the main female role in the Mood for Love, and yeah, there, fun fact, okay? The only other thing that I think I have to mention about it is that another sort of element of the action sequences and like fight sequences is that you could tell that things were sort of sped up or like played backwards, because just like certain positions that they like land in, and it's like there's no way that they could have landed like that. They obviously started in that position and then ended sort of like in the starting position that you think that they're in. Yeah, so like played backwards. I also think that playing it backwards gives it like a faster look to it. You'll have to watch this for yourself. Hopefully it's still on the Criterion Channel. Otherwise, I'm gonna feel bad. Okay, so lastly here, I have Junebug from 2005. This is about a man. Well, it's more about the girl. So a woman marries. Oh my god, I should really write down character names. I'm gonna do that from now on. Remind me. So this woman, I always mess up the actress's name, even though I love her and like everything I've seen her in, but she plays Miss Honey in Matilda, so I'm gonna call her Miss Honey. I'm sorry, that's not her name. But Miss Honey marries this guy who, they both like work in a sort of like art industry, and run like a gallery, and they're going to find out more information about this artist that happens to live in the hometown or like around the hometown of the guy. And so then Miss Honey meets the guy's family for the first time, and the guy's sister-in-law is pregnant, played by Amy Adams. There's at least another name that I can say. And oh wait, do I have Madeline? Oh my god, her name's Madeline. But it's just sort of like what happens and how Madeline learns learns more about his family and the relationship that she sort of forms with the people in his family. So I love the way this is filmed. It's very simple and it works for the sort of like I don't remember exactly where it takes place, but it seems like very Midwestern grassy areas. I don't know, to me it just screams that it's like an early 2000s film. Religion is a little bit a part of the, like, not part of the plot, but it's important to the family, and I very much like that it's not pushy and seems non-judgmental and very open and like heartwarming in the way like religion should be, which as a non-religious person I like and appreciate. I also just don't think that like religion really needed to be a part of the film anyway, but you can tell that it's helped Amy Adams' character sort of become who she is. Like, she's just the sweetest. And the whole movie, I was like, oh my god, something bad's gonna I was waiting for something bad to happen, because there were just moments where I was like, Amy Adams' character, she's too nice. Ashley, that's her name. She's too nice. Everything's going well for the most part. I mean, there's some clash between the family members, but like, whenever there was just scenes of just like only Ashley, and she's just like, you know, almost about to have this baby, and I'm like, please don't let something happen. Unfortunately, something does happen, but I'll leave that to you to find out when you watch I watched this on Netflix, by the way. It's still on there, I know that for sure. And I really like the relationship between Ashley and George. I just read that George is the guy Madeline married. So I should have read this over before, instead of like reading it while I was actually recording this video. I'm gonna run out of time. Okay, that's all I really have to say anyway. And pastoral is what I meant, not grassy, but they're very similar. So if you have seen any of these films, if I left anything out, I'll put it in the description. I'd love to know your thoughts. I said that in the wrong order. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.